All right. The Seahawks get a big time win against the New York Jets in what was the opposite of what one would call a pretty game of football. It's actually one of the outside of that Seahawks Packers game, George, in the playoffs. This is one of those other super duper crazy games we've seen.
Yeah, I think you're the one who tweeted the game was drunk.
Yeah.
Nah,
Drunk,
you're wrong.
intoxicated.
It was blacked out.
Yeah, like they were on another level.
Yeah, man, that was a fun game. It was fun, though. I mean, everything about that game was fun, stressful. Both sides, it's Seahawks special teams were not very special, and the Jets made a lot of mistakes as well. There was not a clean game of football, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the W was in the win column. You can check that off, and the Seahawks sit on top of the NFC West, and not in a tiebreaker situation either.
Yeah, with a humongous game coming up next week, which we will be at.
Yes,
So if you guys are planning to be there in Arizona, let us know in the comments. Hit us up on social media. Maybe we can meet up with some people and say what's up. Let's hit the intro and let's talk about it.
You're listening to the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. I'm Sammy, and with me, as always, is my older brother, George.
Your favorite place to be a fan of Seattle sports. Now let's get this party started.
Like you said, it was one of those games where at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we got the win. It was insane. It was drunk. It was intoxicated, blacked out level, as you said. We're talking about a game. I think I tweeted this out on our account. We're talking about a game that had two kick returns that were fumbled, a kick return touchdown, a pick six of 90 plus yards, two blocked extra points. What?
From a lineman.
From a lineman who was drafted by the Jets, actually, funny enough. The two blocked extra points. You had another fumble where the Seahawks recovered. I mean, it was just all over. And then the last drive for the Seahawks to win the game, 12 men on the field, PI, a horse collar, all on the Jets. Now, a lot of people might say that, the Seahawks won because of those calls, which they did, but it wasn't one of those situations where the refs were to blame. The Jets just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and so did we. I mean, if you go look at it, I think it was first and goal at the 1 yard line. We had 8 opportunities to score, and we never scored. On third down, we got a pass interference, restarted, ended up not even getting a point out of it. On first and goal on the 1, 8 plays, couldn't move 1 yard forward. I mean, it was, God, we just added Geno Smith. It called it incomplete, but I kind of think it was a fumble. But there's so many plays in this game. You're just like, what the heck am I watching?
And it wasn't just the PI. Remember, the reason it was 8 plays is because we obviously win for it on that fourth down. But on top of that PI, they also have the encroachment, right? That's why.
The encroachment. Yeah, that's why it was 8.
Yeah, so it was literally 8 or 9. I think it was 8, like you said, because it was like 2 sets of 4 downs. Because one play was the encroachment made it back to third or whatever. But like that, let's start here for a second, because that was the one part of the game where I was ready to be like, okay, not only did all this stuff go wrong, like a lot of the stuff that went wrong, a fumble on a kick return, these things happen, right? Like it's just, it shouldn't, but it does. And the blocked extra points, and there was a pick six, but the ability to not execute on 8 plays on the 1 yard line or within 5 yards, I was ready to I knew we still had a chance to win, but I was like ready to pack it in. I'm like, okay, this offense can't even get a yard on 8 opportunities. That was one of the biggest, regardless of the win, one of the biggest concerns for me coming out.
Yeah, it was a concern. I just wonder, like in NFL history, what's the most plays from the 1 yard line a team has gone and like not got a touchdown. I mean, 8 has to be approaching that record,
or a field goal, turnover on downs.
Yeah, and then like a 10-yard sack. Like it was just a weird possession. But this team is doing what we were hoping they would do, and that's show fight, show resilience. And coming off the bye week, that's something I kept stressing. I want to see how this team looks off the bye week, and we won 3 straight games. We started the season with 3 straight wins. We come off a bye week with 3 straight wins. Maybe they can give us another bye here, and we can go off on another 3-game win streak.
I wish, dude. I mean, it looks like the Seahawks like their time off, but it's at least it shows. We talked about this the last 2 games that we won, I believe. It shows some of the resilience of a team that I wouldn't even say resilience. It shows good coaching, I guess, too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, okay, when we've had time to prepare, get rest, get healthy, we're actually really good. In the beginning of the year, they, of course, had time to prepare for their first couple opponents. They were healthy. Obviously, we got nicked up with a lot of things. Some things didn't go our way, but then you got your rest week. All of a sudden, you win 3 straight games. And, regardless of what you think of a guy like Aaron Rodgers right now or the Jets in general, it's a good win on the road, East Coast game in New York. And for all the bad that happened to us to pull out that win, I think some people will come out of this saying still like, oh, the special teams was so bad. And maybe the coaching, the offensive play calling and the 1 yard line didn't work out, this. But at the end of the day, when you win those type of games, usually the better coached team or a team that executes better is who's winning. And that's what the Seahawks did. So
right.
It's at least a good thumbs up to the coaching staff and to the preparation that no matter how much this game gets all messed up, they still found a way to pull it off.
Yeah, and speaking of special teams, I mean, Mike McDonald said it after the game that like he's going to give the game ball to Michael Dixon for getting hurt and making us go for it on 4th down. Like the special teams not only had disaster, but all of a sudden we lost a punter as well. Like this is, I've never seen a game like this before.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Not only did we lose a punter, like we started to be in a situation where we had to go for every single 4th down because of that punter situation. They were trying out Jason Myers on the sideline. I think they were just like, okay, this is not going to work.
He's like, I don't know how to punt, dude.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't practiced this very much. And we somehow, with all that happened, all we've already mentioned, plus the punter being out, found a way to pull it off. And I think that's the impressive part. While other teams in the division, you have the Cardinals losing by 1, which I thought they were going to win that for a while, but they ended up losing by 1.
It's a very good Vikings team, by the way. This is not like an indication that the Cardinals are now bad.
No, the Cardinals could be just as good as the Seahawks, if not better, for all we know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find out a little more next week. I know we beat them once, but the Cardinals, they had a lead. They just blew that game against a good team, like you said. And you have the 49ers playing the Bills tonight. So we'll see what happens there. They're in a big snow game. I have a strong feeling the Bills will pull that game off.
Yeah, it's going to be an ugly one, though.
Yeah, it's going to be bet the under. I think I already did, by the way. I bet under 40. It's probably going to be like 55 to 40 now somehow. But
yeah, they're just the snow's going to disappear.
Yeah, it's going to be perfect weather when kickoff. But you're looking at a Seahawks situation, like you said, we're in first place by ourselves.
We absolutely
are by ourselves.
You know, I think
being in last place 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know what I think is the most impressive thing about this team, like taking away the season? We've played 3 East Coast games at 10 a.m. starts Pacific time, and we've won all 3 of them. At Atlanta, at the Patriots, and now at the Jets. I mean, I know the Patriots and the Jets might not be like an indication, like they're not the world beaters, but still, that shows like the team's prepared. And there used to be a time and place long time ago where the Seahawks used to go to the East Coast 10 a.m. games and it was just doomed.
Yeah, except for the last like 5-6 years of Pete Carroll.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like back in a long time. That's what I meant.
Mike Holmgren era.
The Mike Holmgren era. Yeah, just could not win those 10 a.m. starts, and now I mean, 3-0 into 10 a.m. starts. I think we're done with 10 a.m. starts. By the way, yes, we are. No, we got the Bears right now. Prime time game, and the Packers at home is prime.
Yeah, we're done. The day after Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're done with
the East Rams Coast. Again. We have Cardinals again, so we have a lot of the
we got some tough games coming up. I mean, Cardinals, Packers, Vikings. Like this is not an easy slate.
Not at all. But we have a very good opportunity, and that's where I'm excited. I mean, you come into next week. If you beat the Cardinals in Arizona, which sometimes feels like a home game, I don't know. Bless you.
Did you see me fumbling there? I was trying to get to the mute button in time.
I saw you trying. I was going to press it myself for you because I was like, I think that's what he's trying.
Well, so here's, this is for everyone watching on YouTube. My water bottle was covering the mute button on my screen here, so I couldn't find it. So I had to move my water bottle to see where the mute button was.
That's fair because I saw you trying. At least it was an attempt.
It was a horrible.
You were trying to help the audience not hear the sneeze, but it just happened. So it's okay.
Yeah. So anyone watching who saw that, just write "bless you" into the comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and go Hawks. And let us know if you're coming to Arizona next week. We'll be at the game. Please. It's going to be really cool if the Seahawks can pull that win off, because we're talking about a situation where we'll be in first place by a 2-game lead, most likely, if we win that game. If we get a 2-game lead in the division,
well, it depends, right? Because the Rams are only a game back of us.
The Rams are below the Cardinals, though.
Yeah, I know, but then they're both 6-6. So if we win and the Rams win, to be a game, and if the 49ers win tonight and next week, it'd still be a game too.
I feel like I'm just assuming the 49ers lost, but probably not the best assumption. But we're either going to be a game or 2 games up in the division if we win next week. A loss, to your point, with different tiebreakers could put us at like 3rd place or 4th place again.
This division's a mess.
So avoid a loss.
But it's our mess, okay? I know it's a mess, but it's our mess.
But it's like a mess of, we've mentioned this, like, none of these teams are very good and none of them are bad. Like, I don't know what to make of them at all.
Right. The NFC in general has been very weird this year. Like, you could almost say, other than the New York Giants, who we lost to, there is no god-awful team in the NFC. The Panthers have looked really good for back-to-back weeks, barely losing by 3 to the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. The Bears have won games. I mean, they almost just beat the Lions. There's not a bad team in the NFC other than the New York Giants.
The Bears have 6 straight losses where they could have won like 5 of them, probably.
I think it's now 6 straight losses by 1 possession.
Yeah, they I feel bad for them because they literally could be like 8-4 instead of 4-8. I would say the only 2 really bad teams, like you said, are the Giants, and the Panthers are like 50-50. They're looking better, but they do have a minus 146 point differential.
Holy crap.
Which is the worst in the NFL by over 50, like by 50 points. So
that's insane. And think about that, man. Their last 2 games, they've only lost by a total of 6 points.
Yeah.
So that means like earlier in the season,
they've scored 194 points and they've given up 340 points.
Wow.
That's pretty bad. I mean, 340 points is the only team close to them is like the Cowboys. But like we're talking about like teams like the Seahawks have 265. We're talking about like almost 100 more points. That's a lot. So those 2 teams are pretty bad, but like, and there's only probably 2 good teams, Lions and Eagles. Right?
Yeah. And Vikings. It's not, I mean, they're 10-2 now somehow.
That's
and
true.
that division is, and of course we're matched up against that division. The Packers are 9-3, Vikings 10-2, and Lions 11-1.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of that, I mean, like you said, the Seahawks schedule is no joke moving forward. I mean, it's at Cardinals, Green Bay on
Sunday night?
Monday night or Sunday night? Yeah, it's either Monday or Monday night. It's 7 days after the Cardinals game, so Sunday night. So it's at Cardinals.
What are you doing for that game? You want to watch it?
Yeah, come over.
All right.
Sunday Night Football, the 15th. And then you have on the 22nd, at home at least for the Packers and Vikings. But then at Bears the day after Christmas on whatever day, I don't know what day of the week, but it's a nighttime game as well. It could be freezing. And then at LA, which could be like a deciding factor game. There is not a game on the schedule moving forward that's even considered a somewhat gimme, or like the Jets was the closest thing to a gimme and we almost lost today.
Yeah.
So like, moving forward, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but do like the Seahawks team. Geno Smith looked really good again, and he looks like he's going to be, I mean, I don't know if anyone's talking about it. He'll be the quarterback next year, to me at least. And the thing with Geno that I really like, this Jets defense before the game, if you go look at statistics, we're number 2 overall defense against the pass, and Geno didn't seem to phase him. I know only 200 yards, one of his lowest passing yardage games of the season, but that's against a really good Jets defense.
Yeah, no picks and not many mistakes. The one thing about Geno Smith, we talked about this last episode, is it seems as if when it matters, he seems to show up. I mean, it's just like
he might be one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league.
It's crazy. I'm just like, you can watch a whole game where he's okay. Oh, nice plays. Okay. And then it's like, hey, fourth quarter, we need you to drive downfield and score. Like, yeah, no problem. Like,
Yeah, zero problem.
Not a problem. Yeah, it's like Patrick Mahomes, like level of, that's no problem. I'll go do it. And he does it almost every single time. Now, that doesn't mean it always results in a win. Sometimes the other team goes down and scores, but he really seemingly has no problem when there's a big drive to drive the team downfield and at least put them in an opportunity for a field goal or a touchdown every single time. The last time he messed that up was against the Rams, and he messed it up pretty badly with a couple bad picks, but he's still, even against the Rams, I think one of those picks, one of the big ones was like inside the 20-yard line. So like he already drove him down. So this is the one thing with Geno right now that I think is like pretty awesome is I know we have a quarterback that if we do need, like you said, if we need a drive, I kind of trust it like really well.
And we're pretty young overall of a team. I kind of feel like we need a veteran quarterback, which he is. So honestly, I don't think this team would be thriving the way it is right now and being in first place in the division of a rookie quarterback or a second-year quarterback. Now, of course, we need a quarterback of the future, but I think that's someone who can sit behind Geno for a year, 2 years. Michael Penix-esque in Atlanta.
It could be for all we know. Some of these guys, like look at Sam Darnold, right? Like got a year or two to finally develop a little bit and figures it out. Like you never know who it is. Like I'm not saying it is Sam Howell, but I'm just saying like you never know how they see it.
Yeah, you never know.
Geno Smith was a backup for like 7 years, so you never know. I think he's exactly what this team needs. Like you're saying, a young team that needs a quarterback that's just going to drive you downfield and be a veteran and get everyone kind of locked in, focused on the right thing. And he's that guy. He will be the quarterback next year, to your point, especially if this season ends up in winning a division with the defense that keeps getting better and better. I know they have some of their flaws. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the defense is perfect, but they do keep getting better. Guys like Leonard Williams take a big step this year. You got guys like Woolen and Witherspoon that look like they're taking big steps. Kobe Bryant, Jordan Love, Therese Knight's looking good. Ernest Jones is going to be good for the future. Like there's a lot of guys, and if they keep developing and then add more talent to this defense, there's no reason next year this defense is not a top 10 defense.
Julian Love, by the way, I got confused for a second. I was like, Jordan Love. I know it's not Jordan Love, and then I was like, Love, and it took me a minute. I was like, who's Love on the Seahawks? I made me forget.
Yeah, Julian Love. Well, he had a great year.
I hope Julian Love in a couple of weeks picks off Jordan Love. That would be like love on love crime.
Yeah, I wonder that'd probably be the first time in NFL history a Love is picked off a Love.
Yeah, we've had Josh Allen pick off Josh Allen. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm sure there's been like a Jones picking off a Jones or like a Williams picking off a Williams, like those type of names. But Love on Love that'd be top tier.
Yeah, I'm betting on that. I don't know what the odds will be, but I'm betting on Julian Love to get an interception on Jordan Love on that Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is it's pretty easy bet. You just bet Jordan Love, Julian Love pick, and bet Jordan Love pick at the same time. Double up
parlay it.
That might not be allowed to parlay. I don't know.
I don't think so, but either way, make money.
Yeah. Oh, it's back to the game really quick before we wrap up here. Win is a win. I'm happy today. I think this is one of the most unique wins you could have as a football team, because if we lost today, this podcast would be 40 minutes of criticism about how everything they did was wrong. Like, because really everything was wrong. Like, they're like not scoring on the goal lines, the blocked extra point, the fumbles, everything went wrong, and they won.
Man, you just brought my mood down. Like, you're right, everything was wrong.
It was. I mean, except for the win. So whatever. At the end of the day, that's what's funny about football. I mean, it literally would have been a podcast about holy crap, this team is a mess. Like, the special teams a mess, couldn't score was a mess. The fumbles, the this, that, and not capitalizing on the mistakes the Jets made. Instead, it was oh wow, a lot of stuff happened, but we won. That's cool. Good job, team. Awesome.
Yeah, it was like that meme, right? Oh yay, the Seahawks play, and then it was I'm gonna kill myself. Yay, we won.
Yeah, literally. I mean, but that's if anyone deserves these type of games, it's Seahawks fans. We are so used to it. This one might have been a little extra special, but
a little extra saucy.
It was, but it was fun. and I'm
Yeah, man.
happy. We got the win. That's what matters. And the Seahawks sit up top of the NFC West somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we wrap up, I do want to say it is very, very weird for me, and I love it. I'm very happy to see a wedding ring on your finger while talking to you on a podcast because, like, I'm still not used to it. It's probably going to take me a little bit of time to get used to it, but
I was flashing
congratulations.
it earlier with my hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I'm married. I'm married. Yeah.
Girls do that a lot. Like, no way, you think so? That's crazy.
I know.
They
That's
get
so
engaged.
funny. Yeah. Like,
Wow.
wow. You have new ways of moving your hand that you never done before.
It is odd. For those that don't see me in my usual setup, I'm in my I was going to say fiance, my wife's family home
I was
in
waiting
Houston.
to correct you.
Yeah, in my wife's family home in Houston. Just got back from Tulum from our mini moon. That's why we didn't have our pod last Sunday because we were at my wedding, and now I'm packing her boxes for the move, and then I'll be finally back at a regular desk setup instead of her bedroom, her
And
childhood bedroom setup.
later this week.
Yeah, finally Wednesday. Well, I probably won't. Actually, Wednesday I will.
You know, it is going to be difficult though because when you're also moving houses, so like you're not going to be fully set up in like 100% for a little bit.
Yeah, but the good news is my desk is still sitting at home. So
It's
next
not
podcast,
actually. Yeah, you think it is. I took it out.
It has been converted to a gym.
It's been converted to my second studio.
George, we're gonna go to my old room. George has a sauna, a bench press. Where'd my desk go? I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Your desk's not in there, bro.
Speaking of my ring, guys, just for a fun session, this is a $40 ring from Tulum. The day after I got married, George and I were playing catch in the ocean with some kids, some of my wife's young cousins that are like 10 years old, and some of our friends. And somehow playing football, my ring in the water just flew off my finger. And so currently, if you find a gold ring that has the initials S and N in our wedding date, 11/24/24, on the beach of Cancun,
or any beach in the world, the way the beach works,
Yeah.
actually, Sammy, it can go into any, like the ocean.
But it could also be on the shore of Cancun right now.
It could also be on the shore. Let's see, what ocean is that? That's like Caribbean, so it
Atlantic.
goes up to Atlantic. It could be on the shores of South Africa. You know, well, probably not that quickly, but eventually.
Or in like Florida, somewhere in Miami.
It could be there too.
If you find my ring, let me know. But me and my wife hashed it out after her 10 minutes of being pissed, and then I got a fake gold ring for now until I find a new ring. So let me know if you find my ring. This is a good platform to put that on. There might be some people in the world looking for my ring.
By the way, I was thinking more about the ring in general after it happened, and I think it's way better that you lose it the second day after the wedding than 16 years from now, and you like are attached to it for 16 years on your finger.
Yeah. And it was like a matte gold. This fake one's like a shiny gold. And me and my wife have decided that for the new ring, I'm going to get it from the same store, same design, but I'm going to go with the shiny gold. Yeah.
All right. But don't wear this one too long, though, by the way, because I know it's a fake $40 gold ring. It can give you rashes. So
yeah, I know. I have the rubber gym rings and stuff now, too.
Oh, cool.
Just for the audience, no. I have the rubber gym rings for day to day. This is going to be like when I go on vacation. So I don't want to lose my gold, and I'll wear my gold. Like, you know,
we should add a segment at the end of every podcast like this, just like what's going on in our lives.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah. Oh, that's. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have anything bigger than that happening anytime soon. But yeah,
we'll always end the last 3-4 minutes. But so basically, guys, I got married. I'm in Houston moving boxes. I'm coming back home, and then I'm moving into my house with my wife.
And he has
no
desk.
You'll see my new setup. Yeah, you'll see my new desk. So we'll keep you guys posted on the new desk also when we get there. George, but I'll save story time next episode will be for you. That was all about it.
I don't know if I'll have a story by next, but I'll find one.
George, well, I worked this week.
I did go ATVing this weekend, so I'll talk about that.
Save that for like Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll save that for Tuesday.
Okay. And send me some pics, which you still haven't done. So.
I will, man. I will.
All right. I appreciate it. All right. Well, George, I'll see you soon in person, and to the audience, we will be back hopefully around Tuesday-ish for our next episode.
Beautiful.
Much love. And I like the tell me about your life segment at the end of every episode.
Yeah. If
you guys have any funny stories you want us to share, send it our way.
Yeah, we can. We'll read them out loud, and like this is not life advice. We're not trying to copy anyone, but like we'll read your story and we'll add insight.
But just tell us a good story about your life segment. It's a little long. We'll work on the name.
Yeah, tell us a story about your life segment, but not life advice at the end of the show.
But something that happened recently, not like an old story, just something that happened this week. That's very interesting segment.
We'll come up with a name.
Yeah, we'll find a sponsor. Well, we appreciate you guys. We'll be back next time, and go Hawks. What a win. And George, you know what we like to say.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
You're listening to the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. I'm Sammy, and with me, as always, is my older brother, George.
Your favorite place to be a fan of Seattle sports. Now let's get this party started.